What are the Chronicles of Mazwai that Huangzhou is reading about? I believe Mazwa was a pilgrim sailor. She writes about the various places of the nebula and about how the Great Loop has acted in these places. Mazwai believes in the Great Loop, then? Mazwai is an original source for the hypothesis, mistress. As much as anything is a source in the loop, mistress. Master Huang says the book became common shortly after the establishment of the Holy Empire. Huh. So he's a loop philosophy scholar. 6. What do you know about the loop temple? There's a loop temple, okay? I know little of the loop, mistress. The loop priests claim that life is a great cycle. They believe that all that happens has happened before. Literally happened? Do they think we've had this conversation before? I believe that is the idea, mistress. The Loop Temple is extremely well placed, mistress. They have a lot of money and significant power. They are the heart of the Protectorate. Yeah, okay, it is the church. Cool. Is it true? The probability of it is incalculable, mistress. There is no meaningful data. Mistress, you may not realize, but the Loop Temple are my owners. What? But you're owned by the university. By Maersi. Yes, mistress. Indeed. Yeah. Founded to study the events within the loop. Yeah, like I thought. It is, in fact, a religious university. Loop philosophy is religious studies. So the church is, the university is, the protectorate is, okay, fine. So it's a little disingenuous to have her asking all of these questions because, like, she's lived in the protectorate her whole life. This is not new to her, but we do need that information as players. So I can't argue too much. I know that doing this type of exposition can be very tricky. I'm just sad that it's been a little bit awkwardly put in here. Oh well. More importantly, I now know. I now know that the academia of the University of Ajax is truly broken, which I was already pretty sure of, but now I'm certain. Je ne sais pourquoi says, on the other hand, maybe she should know these things, but I also like to think of it as her fishing for knowledge from 6 to see what it says. Dispatch Rabbi agrees, since 6 works for Maersi. Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. Mistress, exactly how many robots have you lost? 5. They just keep giving me more. I've never understood Professor Maersi. You know, she brought me to Ajax from an orphanage on Elbereth. And now she keeps giving me robots when I keep losing them. I really don't know what she gets out of it. Perhaps she likes to be kind, mistress. Maersi? Kind? Have you met her? She's strong. She's principled. She's organized. She's fair. And she's as kind as a thunderstorm. I don't know if the writing is inconsistent or if it's Aliya that's inconsistent. But there's a voiceover that you get right before you go into Maersi's office that says that she brought her to Iox when she was 16 and she had never seen such wealth or such kindness. So it's also possible that she thought it was kindness at first and has changed her mind since. But I don't think she would then describe it that way, right? Oh, Dispatch points out could also be such wealth and kindness on Iox, not necessarily from Maersi. Very possible, very possible. Elbereth is a very hard place to live. And kindness is a thing that people can't always afford to do. Jedi Pourquoi says, true. Maybe before she became an immoral archaeologist, the other Ioxians were nice to her. I mean, Huang still is. You're sure you don't remember anything? From before you were buried? Nothing. I can barely recall my activation, mistress, and that was quite recent. I understand humans have a similar problem with memory. You're talking about childhood. It's true, no one remembers being really young. A robot being immoral. Blah! A robot being immortal is essentially always young, mistress. That's an interesting way to put it. So how did you end up in a hole on Iox? I have no idea, mistress. I do not know when I was buried or what I had done to deserve it. Oh, that's an interesting way to put it. Professor Maersi assures me it is part of the loop. So were you off while you were buried on Iox? Asleep? Man, I sure hope so. Is that why you can't remember it? I do not know, mistress. I cannot remember. Well, that's probably a blessing. Maybe the roboticists wipe your memory after they dug you up. If I'd been buried alive for 100 years, I'd be mad. It was longer than that. 1,000 years, perhaps? But I cannot remember them. I wonder what else you used to know.